Are Laura Bates' claims about the Manosphere really true? Stay tuned. Today, we're going to get into part 2 of why Laura Bates don't understand the Manosphere. Several months back, I have expounded a little on her book titled Men Who Hate Women, From Incels to Pickup Artists, The Truth About Extreme Misogyny and How It Affects Us All. Today, we're going to cover a little more. In the first chapter of her book, Bates described the incel community as an online community that fosters violence against women. In the podcast, Bates openly talks about how the incel community overlaps with the Manosphere. She describes the Manosphere as being something comparable to that of a hate movement and a terrorist group. This is a misconception, as we all know that the Manosphere is here due to cultural changes and to help resolve gender-related issues. We also know that the Black pill community primarily promotes nihilism and biological determinism, not violence. Most incels don't commit violence, neither do they talk about committing violence. That is very few and far in between. The media have exaggerated the online community due to a few incidents that have occurred in the past years. Out of anything, incel black pillars have been demoralized by various studies and statistics concerning sexual dynamics. Over the years, MGTOW have merged in with the black pill incel community due to espousing common beliefs. Laura Bates also goes on and creates a fictitious character that emulates a guy in his early 20s seeking out the Manosphere for answers. The young man's name was Alex, and he never had a girlfriend. Alex was supposedly an incel according to the first chapter of her book, as this was evident while he was surfing the web and so happened to run across an incel forum. Bates stated in a passage that Alex ran across a 6-point thread stating why I support the legalization of rape, somewhere on the Manosphere blog or forum. First off, men in this space do not promote rape. This is one of the primary reasons why men in the Manosphere are encouraged to learn some form of game, or at the least, men in this sphere are teaching them some form of game. Men come to the red pill community and other parts of the Manosphere to learn how both interpersonal and sexual dynamics work. Some men in the community have to learn some form of game to manage their relationships better with women. Also to take note is that we live in the era of Me Too. Why would any man in the Manosphere consider rape as a solution? It's quite ridiculous for a man to attempt rape in an age where a woman wields legislative power. Laura Bates goes on and implies that the Manosphere creates this victim narrative for men. She goes on and writes that men in this sphere believe that they have the deck stacked against them. This is partly true, as in this social order, men are more susceptible to being criminalized. Men are presumed guilty until proven innocent, and women the vice versa. A man can gain leverage in almost any situation. It all comes down to his attitude, not his circumstances. The red pill preaches that a man can adapt to today's marketplace and that there's more opportunity once he changes his mind. Laura Bates continues and goes on to say that men in the Manosphere perceive women as the enemy. This is not true, as we see women as complementary. However, we do understand the potential legal risks involved in terms of cohabitation and family law. Biologically, men and women aren't designed to be adversarial to one another. The reason why she came to this conclusion is because she's referring to the gender war that radical feminists themselves initiated. Men never intended to engage in any gender war. Neither do I believe that we're truly in a gender war. At least I'm not a part of it. The red pill is only a perspective, and MGTOW is a lifestyle choice. Bates affirms that men in the Manosphere only see women as sexual conquests, or in her own words, sexual vessels. We all know this is not true, as a man's perception of a woman is based on how she represents herself. Everyone lusts after someone unless they're asexual. Sex is considered a basic human need and a very natural part of the human experience. Men in the Manosphere never intended to vilify women for their sexuality. A lot of Laura Bates' talking points as of now are absurd. I'm going to continue to follow up with her work on a later date. Don't forget to join me on Patreon, as you would gain access to the all-new XXX edition. The links are in the description box below. Peace.